Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of Principles of Training and Pruning Part 1. So in this session we are going to study about what are the principles of training and also the objective and different methods of training. So all these topics we are going to cover up in this particular session. So what is training? The physical technique that control the size, shape and direction of plant growth are known as training. So we are generally doing what? If suppose there is a bush, then it may give rise branches like this. Okay, so the shape of this particular bush can be not in a very good shape, right? So what we do, we just cut off some of these stems and give a proper shape. We also maintain the size of this bush, right? So we are maintaining the size, we are maintaining the shape, and also if we want to do a topiary, that is giving this bush a particular shape of, suppose we are going to give a shape of an animal, right? Then this is also done by giving a direction of a plant growth, and this is done with the help of method that is called training. This is a physical technique that we cut the branches so that the size, the shape, and the direction of the plant growth can be controlled. In other words, training in effect is the orientation of a plant in air through the techniques like tying, fastening, staking, supporting over the trellis or pergola in a certain fashion, or pruning of some parts. So, in this technique, we are also doing what? We are fastening, we are staking, we are tying to the branches and giving support over the trellis or pergolas. So like this we are giving a particular shape, we are controlling the size of the bush or any tree, okay, and also we are giving the direction of a plant growth. So this is all we are going to do in process of training. Now what are the principles of training, right? For doing any work there must be a principle. So for the principle, for training, what is the principle? Branches should be spaced at least 50 centimeter. There are different branches in a tree or in a bush, and they should be maintained at least 15 centimeter. Why? Because they must get a proper sunlight, right? So alternately on the main stem, and not all at the same place, right? On the main stem we are just maintaining the distance of the branching, right? This branching 15 centimeter, 15 centimeter, and this is done only on the main branch, main, you can say main stem, right? So they should be evenly distributed around the stem, and this is done evenly on the stem. The branches should not be allowed to grow upwards. Branches should have a medium crotch. So the how the branches are allowed to grow, that also can be maintained in the process of training. Now, what are the objectives of training? Why we are doing this? To facilitate orchard cultural operations. So there are some orchard cultural operations, so that we are doing with the help of this training, and to provide the attractive appearance. So when the plants are properly trained, right, then they are in a good shape, they looks in a good shape, they appears in a good grow, and also that provide a good growth to the plant, right? So this training is very important. Lightening to allow air to enter the trees and to expose maximum leaf surface of the sun. This is the very important aspects of the training, that we are allowing the light to uh, to fall on the plants or the bushes or any tree, right, in a proper way, so that they can do a proper photosynthesis. Aeration to the plants should also be done in a proper way. So this training is done. for increasing the production and for complete color development. If the sunlight is not falling properly, okay, because this bush is very clumsy or it is very compact, right? So the inner leaves will not get a proper sunlight, and there will be a process of etiolation also. So the complete color development means there should be a presence of chlorophyll in all the leaves, right? And if they are not getting a proper sunlight, then the plant will not have a good production means proper photosynthesis. And if there is no proper photosynthesis, then there will be a less amount of food available to the plant, and in that way the growth of the plant will be affected. So it is very important that the exposure of the light should be proper to the plant to protect the tree trunk from the sunburn injury. Yes, so it should not be like in a proper sunlight, it is exposed for the whole day. The lower branches should get some shade also, right? They get proper light also and sometimes shade also. So this is done with the help of training to secure a balanced distribution of fruit bearing parts on the main limbs of the plant. So the different branches, they bear flowers, they bear fruits after fertilization, right? The flower changes to fruit. So if the flower is not properly exposed, then their pollination would be affected and they will not going to change in the fruit if there is no pollination process. So the flower should be exposed to the outer surface of the plant, right? So to secure the balanced distribution of fruit bearing parts on the main limbs of the plant. The method of training. What are the different methods of training now that we are going to study about? The method of plant training is determined by the nature of the plant, climate, purpose of growing, planting method and mechanization. So there are different method of plant training and that is determined by the nature of the plant, what type of plant it is, what is the climate, purpose of growing, planting method and mechanization, etc. So these are some of the factors that determine the methods of training, and hence wise choice is necessary. Training in the herbaceous, annuals and biennials. So these plants are usually grow without changing their growth pattern due to the large number of plants in an area. So these are the seasonal. Some plants are this herbaceous are the seasonal. So they are grow in a similar pattern and they grow in a big area. A large number of plants are grown. So, however, plants of some ornamental importance and the climbing nature can be pruned in the following ways. Staking or supporting plants such as vines. So, vines are the grapes plants, right? So, we need to support them. For that, we need a training. Training of vine type fruit plants or the indeterminate types of tomatoes on pergolas or trellis. So again, the tomatoes are weak plant. You have to make it a stand because if they are having the number of fruits, then the plant will droop down. So you have to make it erect so that they can have a proper sunlight, right? And the plant could not get damaged. So for that, you need a support to make it a stand. In the same way, the vines also need a support to, because these are what? These are the climbers, right? These are the climbers. So they need proper like this support so that they can have a proper growth. Now they will bear grapes here like this. So for this, suppose the plant is here, it's a small plant, you need to make a support so that it can grow vertical and later horizontal. So the fruit can hang out and it can be easily plucked from here, right? Now, the tomatoes are also a weak plant, so they also need support, because when they bear the tomato, they are quite heavy and the plant is weak. So at that time, what happened? The plants can droop down and it can wither. So to avoid that, we can have a support to such tomato plant so that they can stand erect, and they can have proper photosynthesis as they are exposed to the proper sunlight, and they can have a proper fruit development. Pinching to encourage lateral growth to give a bushier or fulsome appearance to the potted plants such as asters, marigolds, and chrysanthemum. So we also do what? We cut some of the lateral growth, right? So that the plant can have a proper bushier appearance and they look good, and they can have a proper flower also. And such can be done in the case of asters, marigold, chrysanthemum in the potted plant. Removal of lateral buds to form a single stem for a large flower such as chrysanthemum and dahlias. So generally the chrysanthemum and dahlias bear a big flower in a single pot. So what we do, we have to, like, so large number of flower they cannot bear, that plant cannot bear, right? Because the flowers are quite heavy. So what we do, we cut the lateral buds and just allow a single stem to grow like this, a single stem to grow, and here it can have a big flower. It looks beautiful also, because if there will be a number of flower, then the size of the flower could be small, right? So the lateral buds removal is also a process of training. Tying potted chrysanthemum to the bamboo sticks and tying different twigs together, right? So this also we do in the process, in the this chrysanthemum plant, to make it stand with the help of the bamboo stick. Woody perennial plant which remain in one place over a wide distances and for a long period are cultivated to produce quality fruits and develop strong structures for the ornamental beauty in the different size, that is topiary. So we can give a different shapes. So these are done with the help of perennial plants, right? They are present at the long distances and they are present for the longer time also, right? So we can develop a strong structures for the ornamental beauty in the garden. The following training methods are used in these plants. So let us discuss about the different training methods. The first one is the central leader system. Central leader system. So in this system, the main trunk of the tree is allowed to grow freely. So there will be a main trunk that will grow freely. So what we have to do, we have to cut the lateral branches for that, right? So the first branch is kept at a height of 45 to 50 centimeter from the ground level, and other branches are kept at a distance of 15 to 20 centimeter on the main stem. So first branch, suppose this is 45 to 50 centimeters. So the first branch will appear here, and the second can appear after 15 to 20 centimeter. So this is in our hand at what distance we are keeping the branching system, right? So this is that, and there is a just one main stem that is growing. So that is why it is called central leader system. In central leader is allowed to grow indefinitely. It will grow more quickly than the lateral branches, resulting in a strong, robust, closed, central and tall. So there will be one central leader, and there will be a branching, and this branching will be at a proper place, right? In such a tree, the fruiting is confined to the top part of the tree, right? The fruiting is confined to the top part of the tree. It is not, the fruiting is not allowed to go done in a lower part. It is allowed to have this fruiting at a top part of the tree. This system is also called as a closed center because the center of the plant is closed, and it is also known as pyramid system. Very, very important. Why it is called pyramid system? Because the trained plant look like a pyramid. The trained plant look like a pyramid. So this is like this. So this is about the central leader system. We are keeping one central this main stem and the branches that is allowed to have at a proper distance. This training system is used in the case of some varieties of the apple and pear. Yes. So this is the example of the fruit plant that we generally follow this training system, that is central leader system, in the case of apple and pear. Now, what are the merits and demerits of this particular system? The main advantage of this system is the development of strong crotch. Its main disadvantage is that lack of light in the interior of the tree. It's very compact, right? So light do not reach to the interior of the tree, right? But it form a strong crotch. This weaken the central apex and thus shortens the life of the tree. Central apex, right? It become weak, and it is make the this is the one of the drawback, that it makes the life of the tree of short duration. Since the tree are very tall, harvesting and spraying become difficult and costly, right? So in this case, in the central leader system, the trees becomes very tall and harvesting become very difficult in that. And suppose if we have to spray some chemicals or some disinfectant or some fungicide or some pesticides, then it will be very difficult, and doing it is very costly even. Lower branches, which remain more or less in the shade, eventually become weak and less fruitful. So due to the very high size of the plant, there is an increased risk of damage from storms. Yes. So the lower branches, which are very more or less in the shade, that are present in the shade region, they become weak and also less fruitful. Due to the very high size of the plant, there is an increased risk of damage from the storm. So they are quite big tree, right? So there is a chances of being damaged when there is a storm. This method of training is not suitable for high altitude areas and hot dry places where the wind velocity is high, right? So at the high altitude also, this type of method is not suitable, and also the places that is hot dry, okay, because they are having very high velocity wind, so that can damage the tree. In this system, when the plant reaches a height of 40 to 50 centimeter, the main stem is then cut off from the top, beheaded, right? So 40 to 50 centimeter, that is open center system. This is the second type, that is the open center system. In this system, when the plant reaches to 40 to 50 centimeter, the main stem is then cut off. So from the subsequent vegetative growth, 4 to 5 branches will arranged and distributed around the main stem are selected. So what happened? When you cut the main stem from the above, then it will give rise a side branches like this. So what we have to do? We have to select the distribution of the branches on the main stem. We have to select. Thus, the trained tree attains less height. So in this open center system, center leader system, it is having a great height. But in the case of the open center system, the trained tree attain a less height. In this system, the plants take the shape of ball, and this training system is used in the plum and peaches. So plum and peaches tree, they are having such type of system. Now, the merits and demerits of this system. It helps in transmitting the light to all parts of the tree, which is helpful for better color development of the fruit. Second, to spread the fruiting area over the entire area of the tree, right? So it helps in transmitting the light to all parts of the tree. All the parts of the tree is getting proper sunlight, so the color of the fruit will get better, will develop better, and the spread of the fruit all over the tree will be same. Due to the lower height of the tree, there is a facility for pruning, spraying, and harvesting. So it is not costly and it is not tedious to keep these things in a proper way. Like pruning, spraying, and harvesting is quite easy in the case of this type of training process. Branches from weak and narrow crotch, which can often break due to the high stress, such as heavy bearing and the strong winds. So sometimes there is a development of the weak branches and the narrow crotch is also there. So when there is a high wind velocity or the strong winds are prevailing, then that time there occurs the stress to these weak plants and they can break down. It is also possible for the central system to get sunburned. The branches are very close to each other in the same place. So they are quite compact, they are in a ball shape. So the branches are very close to each other, right? So this is one of the demerits of this system. In this system, the plant take the shape of ball or vase, which provides a good base for the accumulation of snow. Hence, this system is not suitable for the high altitude areas where the snowfall is very common. So it can damage to the tree, right? Because all this, it is a ball shape, so large amount of ice will be get collected on its uh, flow, and that accumulation of snow can cause damage to the plant. So this system is not suitable for a high altitude. Modified leader system. The third type of training method is the modified leader system. So it is an intermediate between the above two systems and it has advantage of both the systems. In this system, first the tree is trained by the central leader system to develop the main trunk without any hindrance for the first 4 to 5 years. So for what we do, we allow the actually we follow the central leader system for 4 to 5. Like the stem, one of the stem will be a main stem and the branches will be there, right? Then what we do, then after that it is cut at a height of 120 to 150 centimeter from the ground level, right? So once it is attaining the height of 120 to 150 centimeter from the ground level, then there is a cut at a height. So the first branch on the main stem is kept at a height that is of 40 centimeter from the ground, and 4 to 5 branches are placed around the main stem to a distance of 15 to 12 centimeter. So like this we are following this particular system. Now, what are the merits and demerits? It results in a small height tree with the well distributed branching, good fruiting due to well branching distribution. So it is in between the first two method, the height of the tree, that is in the central leader system, it is having a very high tree, and in the second type, that is having the short height tree. Now this will have in between these two, the height of the tree in the this method, that will be in between the first two method. Now in this method, there will be a good branching, good fruiting, and well branching distribution as well, and ease of operation of the orchard due to low height. So this system of training is used fruit plant like citrus, pear, and apple. Now, bush system. In this system, the height of the plant is kept at 2 meter. During the first year, the terminal shoot is cut off after the plant has grown to a height of 70 system. 70 centimeter. So first, in the first year, the terminal shoot, the main shoot, that is cut off after the plant has grown to the 70 centimeter height, and be sure that we are keeping this plant at 2-meter height, up to 2-meter height. The first branch is left above the height of 25 to 30 centimeter from the ground. So this is the first branch that is present at the height of 25 to 30 centimeter from the ground, and above this height all other branches except 3 to 4 branches are removed. We are keeping all the branches above this 25 to 70 centimeter. Only 3 to 4 branches are removed. So in this way, the plants acquire the shape of a bush. The central part of the plant remain open, and this system is suitable for apple. Next is the pyramid system. In this system, the plants are pruned in such a way that the lower branches remain long and the upper branches gradually shorten. The plant are pruned in such a way that the lower branches, so the lower branches we are keeping for a, these are the mains, this is the main stem, these are the lower branches, right? So the lower branches are quite long, whereas the upper branches are smaller in size. So this we are maintaining in the pyramid system. Alternate tiers of horizontal branches emerging from the main stem, scattering around and giving the plant a pyramidal appearance. So this is the main stem, this is the longer branches, then smaller branches, and then more smaller branches. So basically it is attaining the shape like this, shape of pyramid. The branches are allowed to grow above the height of 20 centimeter from the ground level on the main stem. So the first branch that is present at the horizontal level, that will be at 20 centimeter from the ground. So suppose this is the main stem and these are the horizontal branches, right? So what will be the first horizontal branches, the position that will be 20 centimeter from the ground. This is ground and this is the first branch, right? This is the first branch. So the first branch and the ground level, the distance is 20 centimeter, that is maintained, and the main stem of the plant and the tip of the branches are cut off to maintain the pyramid, right? So this, like this, when it gives rise the smaller size of the branches, so this is cut so that it can attain a size, shape of pyramid. The word espalier is a French in origin, meaning the fence, fruit wall or pillar, right? So there are so many plants that we have seen in the garden that they are acting as a fence, right? Fruit wall or a pillar. So this method is used especially for training of apple and pear trees. In this system, 3 to 6 tiers of horizontal branches of the trees are trained, right? 3 to 6 tiers of horizontal branches, that is trained. An attempt is made to develop the lateral branches on the main stem at a right angle to each other. And all these branches that are appearing on the main stem at a right angle so that they can have a proper sunlight. Thus, the branches grow parallel to the ground, and this system, wires are tied one above the other in 3 to 6 rows using the poles. So, with the help of wire, we are training this this plant, right? Like pear and apple. So, they are present parallel to the ground, and the wires are helping. We've tied the branches with the wire and keep the branch in a way that it becomes parallel to the ground. The first row of wire is stretched at a height of 60 centimeter to 70 centimeter. The second row at a height of 130 to 140 centimeter. And the third row at a height of 200 centimeter from the ground level. So the third row of the branch that will be kept at 200 centimeters. So the row will be decided, right, at which height we are keeping. First will be kept at 60 centimeter, then 130 to 140, and then at 200 centimeter level. On these wires, the branches of the trees are arranged parallel to the ground in both the directions. In this system, the line-to-line distance of the plant is kept short as the plants are grown in only two directions along the wire. So in this system, line-to-line distance is maintained, and that is very, very important. This is helping to keep as the plants are grown in only two directions, right? So we just allow the plant to grow in a two direction. Cordon refers to the single stem tree in either a vertical, slanting or horizontal position tied to the support of a wire or a bamboo cane. So this is a cordon system. Next system is the cordon system. So cordon refers to the single stemmed tree. This is a single stem tree, either a vertical, slanting or a horizontal position tied to the support of wire or a bamboo cane. So we are giving it support with the help of a bamboo cane, right, or a wire. So this system is generally favorable in apples and pear. So cordon system is also applicable for training in the case of apple and pear. These plants produce early fruit compared to the dwarf pyramid and the bush system. So the plants are planted at a distance of 1 to 1.5 meter. So we keep a distance, right? So why? Because they produce fruits quite early if we compare to the dwarf pyramid and the bush system. In this system, the stem of the plant is tied with the wire, and wire are tied over the cement concrete poles that are 4 to 5 meter of intervals. The plant is maintained single stem by deep pruning of the new emergence of the branches during the winter and summer. So in the winter and summer season, what we do, we just prune out, we cut off the some of the branches, right, that are emerging, and we maintain the single stem, right? So this is deep pruning method is adopted. Depending on the number of the main stem stretched on the wire, the system is referred to as a single cordon, double cordon, or a triple cordon. So the number of main stem that is stretching, depending on that, there is a single, double, and triple cordon system. Tatura trellis. In this system, fruit trees are trained with the trellis of a wire for a quick and high yield without the use of dwarf rootstock. The tree is aligned at the center of the trellis and its branches are trained with the wire to the trellis. So different wires are used to have it is tied with the different branches, right? So this is called as a tatura trellis because we are maintaining the appearance of the branches with the help of wiring it. The system was developed by David Charles, Ben Wendy Andy, and Leo Van Heek during the year 1973 at the Irrigation Research Institute, that is Tatura, Victoria, or that is in Australia. The trellis of wire is made using iron poles that is 10 to 5.5 feet height on which 12.5 gauge high tensile iron wire is stretched. A distance of 7 feet is kept between the two trellis. So the distance between the trellis, it is also maintained, that is 7 feet. The orientation of the trellis is kept in the north-south direction, and the direction of these trellis is also very important. The tree canopy is maintained in the line with the desired frame using the mechanical hedges, and harvesting of the fruit is done mechanically. right? So this tree canopy is maintained in a line with the desired frame. We can have a different frame and we can design that using the mechanical hedges. So this is done mechanically, and the harvesting of the fruit is also done mechanically. However, the system require a lot of labor, as it also require manual pruning and thinning to obtain high yields of a large, high quality fruit. So, lot of tedious work that is done in this particular system. This system gives a higher yield due to maximum light interception and close planting, and it is suitable for the training of apple, pear, peach, plum, apricot, nectarine, sweet cherry, kiwi fruit, grapefruit. So this particular system, right? So in this system, it gives higher yield due to the maximum light interception. In this particular system, maximum light falls on the plant and they are having in a proper way. So the close planting is suitable for the and close planting is also done in this case, and it is suitable for training for these so many plants, that is apple, pear, peach, plum, apricot, nectarine, sweet cherry, kiwi fruit, and also the grapefruit. So this is all about this session, right? We have completed this session, first part. We will have one more part to understand the different pruning process. Till then, thank you very much.